I mean, obviously, I thought it was a heck of a comeback win there. I thought just a really weird first inning. I don't know. You see something new in baseball every time you go out there. They hit around the order in the first on 16 pitches. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that before, And I had a former boss who used to tell me all the time, John Sheff, he's at Virginia Tech now, one of my best friends. He said, man, when you get it out on a bunt, you might give up one, and you don't get it out on a bunt, it's going to be a crooked number. That's what happened there in the first. We knew they were bunting, Tife just a tick slow getting off the mound. And then it was just like paper cut you to death. Chopper over her head on a guy that's a push guy, so you're kind of taking away, chops it over his head, chopper in the 6. And before you knew it, you're down 5. And then I thought Tyler did just a great job of settling in, pitching into the 6, and giving the ball to Heiberger, who was great. And then in the 8th, we did exactly what we didn't do well in the first. We executed. We getting out on a bunt. We're in a good spot with Doe. With Doe, and he makes a great play to home, and then a big punch out. So proud of our guys, proud of the fight. Really happy for this dude right here. That was a really cool moment for him. Big time swing for us, and that's a good win. And now it's on to tomorrow.
Coleman, maybe without as much playing time recently as you had earlier in the season. How did it feel? How's it been feeling over the last couple of weeks just to have some more live at-bats and really just leading up to the moment that you had there in that 8th inning?
Just knowing and showing up every single day, that staying ready to whenever my number's called in order to help our team win however it can. It doesn't matter if you're hitting 212 or Justin LeBron probably going to win the Golden Spikes. Just everyone has a role on our team in order to make it to where we are a functioning group and we can win ball games.
It sounded good. Did you know off the bat, or were you, what was that?
Nah, one of the things about me is I can't hear anything, and I got these hearing aids here, and I don't like to hit with them any volume on, so I didn't know if I hit it great or not, but I just tried to put a good swing on it, and, well, I guess I did.
Coach, Tyler obviously settled in really well if you look at it. I mean, going out of the 6th inning, what do you have, 55 pitches? I mean, just the composure that he had just to stay in the game after the start.
Yeah, I thought he executed pitches in the first, too. I looked at JJ, and I'm like, we don't need to get anybody up, man. He executed pitches. He didn't get out on a bunt. Like, he just was slow getting off the mound. And outside of that, like, I thought they actually took some decent swings that were outs tonight. I thought their hits were their softer contact. Their outs were more the balls on their barrel tonight, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. But I really wasn't concerned because I felt like our offense would come out and score. I felt like we were going to be in a decent place there, and he was so dang efficient. Normally when you give up 5 in the first, you're doing it on 35 pitches, and it's labored. It was early, weak contact, just going everywhere we weren't, it seemed like. So he settled in, throwing into the 6th inning's huge because, yeah, we used Matty, but he only had to throw 20-something pitches tonight or something around there. We used Oz for 2, so we're going to need somebody to step up and probably be that guy for us at the end of the game tomorrow. And then Banks, he just didn't have his command tonight. He's been absolutely automatic and just didn't command it great, walked the leadoff guy. And then I thought we just did a great job of executing there late in the 8th defensively to set up the big homer.
Coleman, what was going through your mind on that home run? There's 2 outs. It's a tie ball game. What's going through your mind while you're at the plate?
Not a whole lot. Just trying to help our team win in any way like I can, like I said earlier, and just doing everything that I can in order to help us win and keep the engine rolling through the long season.
Coach, when you talk about a weekend series, obviously you can get down early and it can put some strain on the arms. That didn't happen tonight. How important is that going to be tomorrow and Saturday?
Yeah, it's just it was. I talked to him before. Like, I know everybody looks at Mizzou's record, and there's some messy losses in there. There's some games that they kind of got run ruled and played bad, but there's also they played a 3-2 game at Florida. Against Florida, they've been in some tight ones too. So I told our guys before the game, I said, like, there's times they get up early, and you just got to keep plugging, keep chipping away, try to get in that bullpen, because if you do, there's some runs to be had, we felt like. Now I'm going to tell you, Lovett was a bear tonight. My goodness. Like, I watched video on him this morning. That was the one. Yeah, he came in against Oklahoma last weekend, but Oklahoma was up 9-1 when he came in the game. Like, I knew that was going to be a tough matchup just because it's such a good heater. It's 99% fastball, but it is just so hard to barrel that thing up because it's turning over. we had a little bit lower of a strike zone tonight, so I think that's a advantage him in that situation. You're taking the ball down, and tonight some of those were strikes, and so I thought we finally did a good job breaking through against him. But it was a good comeback win. It's a resilient win. I told these guys out there afterwards, when this team's functioning really good, you set it up in the 8th, walk. And then G-Stat, who had the huge swing early, kind of breaks the swing down a little bit, hits into a double play. So many teams, that was our chance. Let the air out of the thing. I looked at him, as soon as I saw the replay, I knew he was out. Is when I looked up on the screen. And I looked at him, I walked over there. I said, there's going to be 2 outs, and you're going to get a big hit. You're going to hit it. I said, what did I say? Something about you're going to hammer a ball to center or something. I didn't think it was going to go over the fence. I meant more like a line drive to center. But that's what we do. We pick each other up. G-Stat was the hero there in the, whatever that was, the 5th or the 6th, and Bull got to be the hero late, which was awesome.
Will and Garrett have been all over the baseball this week. What have you liked about those two's approach recently? And obviously we've talked about how Garrett doesn't seem like he's missed a step, but you're really seeing that now. Just the presence that those two have had. Yeah,
it's been great. It's been great. Just, it's one of those things when we're going good, it's somebody different. It's somebody different all the time. And Doe's is kind of completely correlated with his aggression at the plate. When Doe's scuffling a little bit, he's a little bit overly passive. The swing is always money. His eyes really work, but at times he can be a little bit passive. And you've seen him, really, it's Pap's message, man, be aggressive in a small window. And you're starting to see him do that a little bit more. And when he does, he's as dangerous as it gets. And G-Stat, same thing, man. I don't know what his numbers look like right now, but, man, that guy missed a month and wasn't thrust into non-conference play, was thrust into SEC play, and every arm we see is 94 plus with stuff. And, he looks like he hasn't missed a beat. That's why we brought him here. He's an old veteran player that knows how to hit and has hit at a high level his whole career. And for him, it's exciting, but for us, it's huge. He's doing exactly what we need him to do.
Coleman, you spent some time in the 3-hole this year. It's a different role in that 9 spot just to turn the lineup card over. Does that change your approach at all?
No, sir, not really. Just like I said, any way I can to help this team win. I got something I've been wanting to get off my chest a little bit. There's our team doctor, Jeff Lobenthal. He came up and talked to me one day in the dugout, and he said, one of the things that I love about you is it doesn't matter if you were hitting in the 3-hole or you had 20 at-bats your freshman year, and you show up and you treat people the right way, which really had a really good – it stuck with me, and is something that I've lived by ever since then. And just like at the end of the day, April 24th, in 5 years, no one's gonna remember this, but people will remember how you treat people, which is a really, really big thing in order to not complete you as a player, but as a person.
Couple more? All good?
Yep.
All right.
All right, guys, thanks.
Thanks, boys.